Alright class, so I have some set objectives for you guys. I'd like you to get done the worksheet, and as well as the packet, and I want all of it done by the end of today, or otherwise you'll be reprimanded and disciplinary action will be taken. The first half of the room has the first packet, and the second half is the second packet. So please make sure you're done with that, and no questions asked. Make sure you follow. I see all of us in this class with Trailer 705 as one big happy family. Ain't that right, Sohum?
Yep.
So I'm going to tell you guys and guide you guys through what we're going to be doing. Is that alright?
Yep.
Splendid. Do you have any questions about this?
How do you do this problem over here?
Oh, well, I'll just, sit with you and guide you right through it.
Okay.
So the first thing you're going to want to do is divide that, and then I want you to, if it's okay, if you could go to the factory and give them a call. Okay. I can sit here when you make the call, actually,
Okay.
So, yeah. All right.
Thank you, Philip.
No problem, Sohum.
It's nice to work with you.
It is, yeah. All right, so I want you to just fill out this whole packet, get it done. Don't really care how you do it, really.
Okay.
Just make sure it gets done, all right?
Okay.
Sounds good.
Do I really want to do all this work? Nah.
Alright, so the way we're going to be doing this is we're going to be contacting all the distributors and to ensure that sales are done effectively. This new policy that we're actually going to be doing should get rid of any problems that we've had in the past. So, Amar, do you have any suggestions? We're willing to take many suggestions on this issue, and your voice is important.
Oh, thank you, Philip. I was wondering if we could contact the distributors by email instead of telephone.
Yeah, I actually think that might be a good idea, because that way we can get to the distributors when they're not available at all times. I'm glad you brought that up. Communication is key here in the workplace.
Thank you for letting me bring it up.
Yeah. Do you feel engaged?
I do feel very engaged.
Great. All right. Well, just in general, if you have any questions, I'm always here as supervisor. So thanks.
Thanks.
Hey, Amar, can you explain to me Herzberg's two factors theory and what hygiene factors are?
Sure. My teacher actually taught me this last night. So Herzberg contended, Frederick Herzberg, that is, he contended that there's two types of factors that contribute to motivation. One is hygiene factors, and hygiene factors they don't motivate. Their absence actually causes dissatisfaction. So these are generally factors that meet people's basic needs. For example, air conditioning or a window in their office. Without these factors, the people will be dissatisfied.
Okay.
On the other hand, there are motivators, and those are the other side of the two-factor theory. And motivators are factors that lead to psychological growth of these workers. So this is increased satisfaction and performance among your workers. So this is what you want in a business in order to get that achievement, that success.
So how would you decide to implement both of these factors at the same time?
So one thing that I would definitely do in a business is ensure that the hygiene factors are there, because their absence causes dissatisfaction. I would ensure that my business has air conditioning, has water for the workers, has all the things that the workers need to succeed, to really thrive in the workplace. And then in addition to that, I would institute motivators in order to ensure that they're motivated to work harder, so that the success keeps increasing.
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem.
Hello, Philip. How do I motivate my pet tiger, Richard Parker, to work harder?
Oh, your tiger, Richard. Well, I think it's integral that we understand exactly what motivation is. So, do you have any understanding of motivation?
No, not at all.
It doesn't seem like your tiger, Richard. Does
No,
it? Well,
just see it.
so motivation is the desire, it's the passion, it's the drive and the effort to learn something and to achieve something. In business, we actually call this really how motivated you are to complete a task before you with enthusiasm.
Well, me and Richard Parker did make it off the board.
Oh, very, very good. But do you even know what's so great about having a motivated workforce or a motivated tiger?
No, I don't.
Oh, well, you've got much to learn.
Yes, I do.
When you have a motivated workforce, you start to see employees with a higher morale, more job satisfaction, and in the end, this leads to higher productivity. The corporate image of your tiger, or your company is it's going to be better. It's going to be improved as a result of this. And this is going to be you're going to be having a company where people want to work, where the image is just great. And then of course there's going to be less conflict in the workplace. It's just think of it as a harmonious place to be. More people will be showing up, less absenteeism, lower turnover. It'll be a place. It'll be a company where you hear it and you think, yeah, I want to work there. And all those factors are going to lead to a more productive company that's going to bring in more money. So do you know exactly what it is when your workforce is kind of not motivated, when there's poor motivation?
No.
No? Oh, well, you've got much to learn again. So this can be high absenteeism. This is when your zookeepers don't show up to take care of Richard. What are you going to do about it, This is when your zookeepers come into the office and tell you, I don't want to work here anymore. And of course, as a result of that, the quality of work that's done is garbage. And you start to see more complaints from the visitors at the zoo, customers. There are disciplinary problems, and it's just not nice. So there are actually two ways in which you can pay your employees. Do you know anything about them?
Possibly different ways to pay them, such as salary or performance-related pay.
Oh yeah, well, even we can branch these out into just two things, wages and salary. So wages is hourly rate. This is going to be the lower employees if you're paying them. Sometimes blue collar. So it's more unskilled laborers, but it's still hard work, and you still need these people in your enterprise. So, and then we have salary. This is what the people at the top of the top are going to be making. Not necessarily the top of the top, but just jobs that are 40-hour-a-week jobs, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, So these are paid at the end of the month, sometimes bi-monthly or semi-monthly. Twice a month is really what I'm trying to say. So, but actually we can tie output to payment. I don't know if you knew that, but we can pay based on commission, based on their sales output, your employees, or based on their work ethic, or just in general how they're doing. But not every sort of motivation is financial. We actually have job enrichment, which is we can give them more responsibilities, make their job more enjoyable. We can enlarge their job, give them more tasks, which is similar to the top one. And then we have rotation, perform different tasks at the same level of complexity. And then empowerment. When we empower our workers to be more productive and give them these jobs, they can execute their own ideas, and then this can be beneficial in the end to the company. So I think it's important that you take these into consideration, and then Richard will be a much better tiger in your company, and your zoo will be operating much more effectively. So,
Okay, thank you.
no problem. Thank you very much.
Hello, Philip. Me and my friend Ted here are starting a company, and we were not sure what to do.
About workforce planning.
That's pertaining to workforce planning, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd be glad to help you out here. So, remember the laws of supply and demand that you learned in economics class?
Oh yeah, good times.
These apply to workforce planning too, because for demand we say what's out there in the workforce, what's out there, and what's going to be needed. What do we need for your teddy bear company? So that then we go to supply, the internal workforce. What do we have now? And then we look at other things, external factors. We think, when are people retiring? Is it 65? Is it 68? When's the unemployment rate? Is it down to 6.25% yet? And what's the migration rate? Income levels? So all these external factors really play a role. And then, of course, it's important to recruit the best of the best, because you want the best of the best of your company,
that's
right?
no problem. Yep.
Yeah. So select the most suitable applicants when you're going through these names of people, and then obviously you want to train them. There are tons of training programs on the job, and a lot of leadership theorists have thought that if you train your employees, this is the best way it can be done, and they develop a skill set that's just invaluable. So when you're looking externally, you want to when I mean externally, I mean people that don't work for your company already. So when you look externally, you want to kind of pitch the job to these people. Why do they want to work here, right? So job analysis. So what is there about the job? And then the description. What are you going to be doing on a day-to-day basis? What kind of work are you looking for? Looking for someone that's motivated, that can meet deadlines, that can work with people, that can, that sort of thing. And then we go into advertising. Are you going to put this on career.com, monster.com? Is this going to be only on your proprietary career website? So start to think about those things when you're looking for employees, and then make sure that they come up with CVs, curriculum vitalis, or vitaes. It's a Latin word. It's kind of a little section at the bottom of the resume. So this kind of lists all their skills, what they can do. And then you have an interview process. You sit down and you say, what can you bring to the table? What can you really help improve our company on? So then is when you make the decision. You say, do I want to hire them? And then you give them an offer based on a few different things. Often the compensation package is discussed. You say, do you want $75,000 this year and then a competitive bonus? Or and then once you do that, you go into the training, the on-the-job training. There's many different kinds of training, but really what you're doing when you're training is you want to improve morale, improve skills, improve output, and improve quality of output.
Of course, yeah.
And of course, greater efficiency. And then it's always nice to kind of lower costs. And then, of course, you're always shooting for less absenteeism. You want people to show up to work. You want people to work with you for a long time. So these are just goals that we go over when we do training. There's off-site training, which is sometimes licensed out to a third party. So you can get the people that work for you to go to a training program, and you'll pay the training program directly. Then there's internal. This internal type of training is one that it's done here, and it's one that your company, the teddy bear company, will specialize in.
That sounds cheaper, yeah.
Well, it might be cheaper, but how's the quality of it? So that's just something to think
That's
about.
true.
And then you kind of want to retain this worker through appraisal. Now, this can be basically saying, how are they doing? You can look at their personal traits and connect them to a job and say, how do these traits apply to the job and how are they being implemented in the way the job is being worked out? And then another way you can do it is kind of a results-based approach. This looks at their numbers. How are they doing? How much money are they bringing into the company? That sort of thing. And then finally, I think the job behavior approach is also a strong component of retaining employees through appraisal. So this attempts to measure behavior against other agreed norms.
That
And by
might be
agreed
kind of
norms,
subjective though, right?
it might be, but how well are the rest of the people in the company doing? So if you measure them up to those people, then you get your answer. And then, of course, you don't really want to lay people off, but it happens. And in an age today, we have teleworking and flexible work structures. So this can be working from home or job sharing, any sort of thing like that. So just, when you're looking for employees, consider all those factors, and then I think you'll have a pretty strong workforce.
Wow, thank you, Philip.
Anytime, Amar.
You taught me a lot.
Sure
I think I'm ready to start my company.
Yeah.
Hey, Professor McGurr, can you explain to me your theory of X and Y?
Oh, my theory of X and Y, I'd be glad to explain it to you. Well, sometimes in the workplace, it's important that a manager understands what it really is that's motivating their workers. And kind of just, I implore you to understand what motivates your workers. So, and also if you do gain this theoretical understanding of the way your workers work and what drives them, what makes them tick, I think your company will, in general, become more efficient. And a few years ago, ExxonMobil started to look at what it was that was getting their employees really to just, play successful roles in this company management. And I'd say that what they discovered was really helpful. I like to think that I have a theory, X and Y. So yeah, you know about it. Huh?
Yeah.
So anyway, the X and Y theory is basically that they're in the workplace. We have a workforce of hundreds of millions in the United States, but within within this workforce, it's very divisive because we can group people into the X category and the Y category. And no, this isn't a math equation.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say that X workers are lazy people who, if they can, they'll avoid work. And then these are people who they always need supervision. They need to be babysat all the time, and they're really not ambitious. They're kind of just working because they have to work. It's what's expected of them. So and they're kind of pessimists in general too. But I won't stereotype them completely. Then theory Y, on the other side, is the opposing theory. And this opposing theory says that we're able to achieve organizational objectives on our own accord and if we have initiative. But this is different than in theory X because these are different people. These people, they gain satisfaction from work. They go home at the end of the day and they think, wow, I was really successful today. They're not lazy, and they're willing to take on heaps of more responsibility. So they're very ambitious.
So once you're done sorting your employees, between the group X and Y, what do you do to implement this theory?
Well, if we have too many X's, we start to look at how can we make them Y, and at the same time we start to look at do we want to keep these X's around? But something that's interesting is that we're starting to see that some people can have some aspects of X and some aspects of Y, so we can't necessarily group together them, but I think my theory does a good job of doing so.
Okay, thank you.